Gotta get the TV and music going because the sound of the birds is all I have. All right, so I think this is all the hardware I need. I just need my zipper tape. So, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Do not mind me. I am waking up. Okay. So, let me get kind of over here. Okay. No, stop it. This is what I need. So I remembered to turn on Do Not Disturb. So hopefully that won't be a thing. Laptop is already like, what's up? Why are we not plugged in? There we go. Oh yeah, here we go. Boop. 1, 2. Can tell that good Lord. Hang on. Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Miglery. Morning, Twyla. Twyla, I do have everything I think that you meant to send. Hold that thought. Okay. Look at the kitties for a second. This. Yep, this zipper tape. All right. Okay, so I want to make sure that yes, let's see. This is the one that I had a slight panic attack with. Because it was crinkling weird. And then I found that it has a cover over it to protect it even more. Morning, Oma. Oh, I'm glad it's nice in Michigan. It's getting a little bit nicer here. I think I've got everything. But yeah, just message me when you get a chance on what kind of bag you're looking for. Let's see. And Cynthia says she found... good morning, Patricia. Cynthia said she found a vintage machine with a cabinet. Ooh, 55. Listen, I will never not tell you to buy a machine. But you're also talking to somebody who, no, thank you. You're also talking to somebody who ended up with a whole storage unit that must have been from a vacuum and sewing machine repair, and I had 24 different machines. I was able to fix a couple because some of them just needed like a good cleaning in that, but most of them I ended up giving to a friend who worked at a machine repair shop up in Atlanta, or up near Atlanta. So she was like, "Oh, I'm happy to look at them." I'm like, "Listen, if you come look, just take them, please." Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff with those. Let me do that. There we go. But the ones in the cabinets. I had one that I bought. I found a nice older machine at Goodwill for like $20, and I was actually able to use it for quite a bit. And then the casing broke. I fixed it a couple of times, but then let's just say that after one long session fighting with it, I ended up in the corner eating cheese. Very heavy duty. Nice. Now, I do know with older machines, you do want to make sure that you're keeping them well oiled, well cleaned, and a lot of that. I also, my friend also said that with the older the machines, you really want to make sure you're changing your needle like every 16 to 24 hours of sewing, of the machine actually sewing. I was like, oh, I didn't ask why. I usually just believe her when she says something when it comes to the machine. Um, Nails are glow in the dark. That little, so I'm very happy with these. They scared the tar out of me the other day because I got them done Wednesday, and that night I woke up and I thought something was near my face, and I realized it was my nails because it's a strong glow. Let's see, what are we doing besides listening to Gin and Juice? All right, so I did go ahead and finish that lunchbox, and that's because I'm putting up a listing for a pre-order for them for Dragon Con, because I am already getting inundated by messages, and I'm like, oh, good Lord. Okay. It's a good problem. It's a good problem, I promise. I really like how it came out. Yeah, my nail tech knows me. The moment I told her that we were already starting Halloween season, she was like, she kind of rolled her eyes and was like, yes, of course we are. I'm like, don't come at me. You know how much I love this season. But yes. And we kept it nice and simple, but still added some stickers that glow. So just about, I think I had a couple notes. So for the lunchbox, I had added a 1/2 inch to the zipper panel from the measurements in the pattern. I've backed up from those because it did make it too loose. So I'm going back to the other size, or to the actual measurements. What's contrast? What's this? What is this? No, I don't know what this note is. I know y'all are used to that by now. I did change my measurements. That's probably what that is. So I changed my measurements for the outside for the back of the lunch bag. Right? I mean, I already bought some Halloween stuff from Joann's, so let's see. You've got some glow in the dark vinyl. The glow in the dark vinyl that I got from, I want to say, Fabric Therapy. It worked just the same with the heat press. I think I press everything at 300 degrees for 15 seconds. And that seems to work pretty well for me. Let me see. So adding the boning did nicely. I did not add any interfacing to these, to the zipper panel. That's just the Insel Bright and the boning. So that works nicely. I do add a piece of Decoville Heavy to the bottom. What I did to measure out my piece is that I took the bottom of my panel and I went from the edge of each curve and went with about that. Oh, nice. A heat press is always a good idea, believe me. It saves you so much time. So I found that the vinyl patterns are going to work nicely. Oh, good morning from California. Hi, So. I think this is going to work out really nice. Oh, and Australia. Oof. You out there? Good morning. So I am hopping from different cameras to look at everything. Hmm. Well, Cynthia, I know you're going to figure out something wonderful with it, and you can always message me if you're not sure about something. I do not mind at all. Um, so this is one of the vinyl panels from Cosmic Fabric Creations. I absolutely love how this fit. I'm actually now seeing it on camera how the decoration of the frame that they're in just stop. Somehow I'm going to have to let that be sold. So I did the same vinyl as the bag that I made with one of the patterns. Oh, we'll figure something out, Cynthia. I'm sure we'll figure out something for the glow in the when you say glow in the dark vinyl, is that heat transfer vinyl or actual vinyl? Because heat transfer vinyl, you got the world at your feet right there. Even if all you do is like use it for the inside of pockets. Let's see. Oh, so for the back where the slip pocket is, I cut out 2 rectangles because there was that weird gap. Yeah, HTV vinyl is perfect for if you've got a cutting machine to cut out stuff to put little like phrases. If you're doing any type of like zipper panel like this, you can put an accent strip on it. And you can use it for like the inside of pockets. That's what I do with my backpack. Uh, Let me think. What was I going to do? So I think I only did a couple of changes. I definitely need to make sure measurements are just right for the top. The webbing measurement I did was perfect. So let's see how we want to get this done. Let me put that over there. Let me make sure. So I do like making packets. Morning, Carter. So I've got um, my bottom gusset here. And with the bottom gusset, I do have a chunk of the Insul Bright. I put 2 ice packs in the lunchbox and I left it right here at my window for 4 hours and they were still pretty solid. Like another hour and they probably would have started to melt. So the Insul Bright does help a lot for that. Like it's not a cooler bag, but it does help to keep that insulation in. Oh, I absolutely adore this. This is that my apothecary diaries. That's what it is. So that's going to end up being sandwiched pretty much like that. So I'm going to set that aside. Where are you at? Okay. This is my zipper panel. So I'm going to go ahead and prep that up. Sleep with one eye open. Trying to figure out where to cut this. So that's probably on this side. There we are. Okay. So for the zipper panel to prep it, I'm marking my centers. I added about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 an inch to the gusset width on this. All right, here we are. So I'm trying to decide. Scroll and Turquoise just came out with a new pattern. So proud of her. She is. This looks really really cute. It's kind of it's a little bit like okay, let me try to find some words real quick that will work for me. It's kind of a small bag, probably I think it's going to be about that big. It looks really really cute. It looks like something that would sell nicely at conventions. So if you have those people who are like, oh, I don't carry a purse, I just like something small, this would be perfect. It's got a couple of pockets. Where'd you go? It looks like it can be raw, edged, or fabric. And that it looks super cute. So I think that's going to definitely be one I need to cut out. I also need to do some more Moon Dancers and Shade Slayers, but that's for the convention itself. Yes, Cynthia, that is exactly what I do with my zipper panel is I put the measurements together and I just cut out the one long rectangle and then I cut the large piece off. It tends to move the fabric less in that. I do that. I would do that with fabric as well as the vinyl. So I've got my zipper panels ready to go. I'm going to be trying to use as much of the same items and that I did for the Twilight bag that I did like this. So I've got my zipper tape, and this is the only zipper I'm going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it so I can fling this in the background. I'm going to check my needle. Needle feels pretty good. I like it a little bit longer so I don't have to fight with it as much. It should be good. I do not think I charged this up. Okay, it's still got 3 dots. It'll be fine. Yesterday, I got 20 of the Shade Slayers done, so I'm very happy with that. I don't have to be off till here till 1 or 1:30, so I think we'll have some good chunk of time. I do have Insobright for I did do it in the zipper panel. And that seems to give it a little bit of loftiness. So I liked that. And then there is um, the Inso Bright for the front pattern as well. I'm putting the silver going towards the inside. Yes, you can use HTV vinyl for the Bitty Bug packs, either as an accent or as just the inside of it. Like if you don't want to do any lining at all, you can cut out so you'll cut out your piece, your exterior piece, and then you can put down the foam that you want to use. I would cut out a square or a rectangle a little bit bigger than the pack piece, adhere the whole thing. So this is the Bitty Bug. This is you put your foam down and then you put something bigger with the HTV vinyl over it. Press it, and then when you, it should be a warm peel. Most glow in the darks are. But once you peel it, go around it with either just your hand or something and press it down. And that will give you the illusion of a lining, but not lose that piece of puff with the foam. I might have to do one of those because I do need to do a bunch of those anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way because that'll be one less thing. Oh, no, I got to do this first. Already doing things. Okay, so this is my punch. Now, this is a thick vinyl. It's a pretty thick vinyl. It's almost a leather thickness, and I will say I have tried to skive it, but it doesn't really work. Mainly, I would love to skive the corners so that when I punch this, it actually punches all the way through. Oh, didn't do too bad. Like, this punch is really good. This is the one that's in my store. So it punches the corners still pretty well. There are just some that don't want to push through. Of course, I'll have to replay that. I know that feeling. So my silhouette cameo came in yesterday. Actually, the day before. Came in Thursday. Like 2 days sooner than I thought it was going to. So I'm really happy with that. I haven't, oh, was I going to put that here? I'm going to put, shoot. So the reason I just said shoot, and I'm so sorry. Cause see, normally I do that contrast. The issue I have is, this is so pretty that I don't, well, I mean, it would work there, but actually wouldn't be too bad there. We don't mind that right there, right? I think that would look nice still. You'll be knocking at my door when you get one. Because the 5, I think, either just came out or is coming out. I got the 4 for like $160 on Amazon. So I'm like really excited. I'm gonna put it right here. So it's only starting to tuck into them, but it's not going to be obtrusive. See? Yeah. Because I was thinking I could set it to the side, but that just got framed so nicely. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to leave the Insel Bright on here, and I'm going to put this down because it'll make it puffy. We enjoyed puffy. That's what I want. Turn that down. I want to put the pressure foot down so that it'll actually sew right. Tonight. So I'm really excited. I haven't gotten to really do much with it. And I'm not really a dive on in kind of gal. So I always want to watch like a bunch of videos. Oh, there we go. But I have so much stuff to do and to figure out that I'm like, okay, well, I kind of just need to, I guess I need to be a dive on in kind of gal now, because I need to figure this out, because I want to use it to cut out my Moon Dance price tags. As well as I think the corner bookmarks look like they might fit well enough on the shade slayers on the sunglass holders. All right, that should be. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out which thread. Okay, so yeah, that one's for that. Trying to pull my threads to the back here. Morning, Frida. It was good. It was good. Come on. Sometimes the thread gets... Come on, there we go. Which one are you? This one? Awesome. Sometimes when you stitch into the same hole, you might accidentally pierce the other thread, so it can get a little bit tangled. So just take a little patience with it, because holy crap, that looks amazing. Oh, I love this vinyl with this pattern. It just seems to match it so nicely. Yeah, I really like that placement. It kind of adds a little bit. You know how I am. I'm just always worried. Oh, thank you. They glow in the dark. Scared the tar out of me the other night. Nothing like waking up with little like olive things glowing in the dark, and you're like, oh God, what are those? And I'm not proud to say, good living with you. There we are. Okay, so I've added my tag on. It was good. That looks about right. Okay. My goodness, that goes away real quick, doesn't it? Hold that. Huh. It's so spongy. It is a very, very spongy vinyl. It's one of my favorites, though. The vinyl I'm using, the contrast vinyl, is from Impish Geek Designs, and they do currently have a sale going on. They're trying to get rid of some old inventory. So they have vinyls are 40% off, fabric is 50% off, and zipper pulls are like 10 for 10, something to that effect. I'm not 100% sure when the sale ends. Oh, and I am... Oh, good God. What's going on here? Oh, I see. I got it. Or I could just put that on the ground. That works too. Here we go. Okay, so whenever I do my tags, I pull my threads to the back, but I don't worry about tying them off. I just keep them long, and then once the tag is in, or my metal tag, I just wrap that around the prongs and then put it like that. And then I come over here, get a piece of tape. So we have a carbonation machine. So it carbonates our water so that I can have Impish Designs. Impish Geek. I'm sorry. So it's Impish Geek Designs. I'm trying to think if it was... There we go. But I love their stuff anyways. I have a whole nother... I believe I have a whole nother roll of this, or I just used up my last roll of it. Okay, so now that I have that taken care of, I can get my lining. I'm using this beautiful, bright, happy gold. Okay, I'm going to make sure that everything actually fits on my square, which it should. Got it. All right. Put these away. Oh. These shorts are comfortable except when I'm sitting in them, because I start to fidget. And it's got the waistband right where it either wants to right up under your boobs like freaking Urkel, or it wants to just like, I've got wardrobe malfunctions going on right now. And I'm just basting these together. So I've got all wrong sides together here. Yes, that is correct. In fact, I still have some of that beautiful seed tentacle vinyl. I got some gorgeous fox vinyl from her. From them. I don't know, saying so magical seems like it's invoking something. I go back to it. So I'm just basting around that. Everything's kind of just rough cut. I'm gonna have to go buy a bolt of this Insta-Bright, but I think there's still a coupon online. Here we go. Okay, so whenever I do this type where it's overhang, I turn my scissors so that I'm cutting under and behind my panel. So it's going to take out a little bit more of that bulk. The Insta-Bright doesn't add a lot of bulk, which is nice. But because I'm doing this as a lunch bag, I'm not really adding any pockets on the inside. It would be very easy to add like a mesh pocket if you wanted. But I put the pocket on the back, or I actually added a pocket. Like, I think there might be a pocket on the inside. I just don't like stuff like my silverware in that getting cold. You know, I don't like touching cold metal to eat my food, especially if my food is hot. So I don't know quite if that's just a me thing or not. And I do have my mids marked. I might just check them real quick. That was good. Because I marked them at the table, but sometimes things get moved. There we go. All right. And you can really see like on this corner, right here, all that white, that's because I cut like up to the line itself. And that's just going to take a little bit. Oh, I forgot to grab a snack. Cheese sticks. I'm so happy. All right, we'll move you back up here. I guess we're just going to go on boobs today. So, got our front panel done and done. That's why some restaurants serve on warm plates. Yes. Which is weird because some restaurants want a quick turnover. So that because the more the greater turnover they have on the tables, the quicker people eat and go. Come on. No, go away. Hang on, y'all. There might be a glitch. Son of a bitch. Because I know I turned it on. Lost connection. Okay. Telling you, sometimes I'm gonna let some folks come back in while I figure this out. Okay, let's go over there. Irritates me. Sorry about that, y'all. went to try to get rid of a call and it tried to answer it instead. Okay, so that says top. Good. I'm trying out some new clips. I don't think I like them already, but we'll see. I picked up these hair clips because, hey, Joseph, your package is on the way. Everybody's mail is out for Fat Rabbit. Oh, I don't think I like this. Oh, that's okay. Now I have a hair clip. Good morning, Ladybug. Yeah, I don't think I like these clips, so that's a no. That's okay. Now I have hair clips. Oh, but I went to tell a call no, and it tried to answer it, and then I thought I had it on Do Not Disturb for that reason. Okay, so for the back, I cut 2 pieces. Where are you at? So I cut 2 pieces of my contrast. I cut one at, it looks like 7 1/4, and one at 5 inches. And the reason I cut them in squares is so that I can put it together and then use my template and cut that out. I have still got a freaking contact scrolling turquoise about the Twilight template, especially with the Ida window. So I'm using the shorter of my contrast. There we go. I'm going to put that with one of my pieces of waterproof canvas, which I believe are 8 by 11. Okay, well, I guess I've got a clip on the floor. So, what if I do that and trim that? So I'm trying to decide if I want to do a butterfly stitch so it's nice. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. I know I'm going to do a butterfly stitch. So a butterfly stitch is where you open up your seam and then you sew down, you top stitch down each side. Thing is, that it's with how thick this is, it's almost not going to matter. Well, except it's going to double up. Okay, I'm actually going to not butterfly stitch, and that's because see right now how the thickness is there. Well, if I butterfly stitch, I'm doubling that thickness here. When you're binding a bag, you don't want to add thickness. You want thick cats and thin seams. What I'm also going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and trim this down. I want to be a player. Ever since I was my G. Now I'm a big But I'm going to put the seam allowance behind the waterproof canvas so that I'm still not doubling up that seam. There you go. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to contact So Sweetness, but I do thoroughly doubt they're going to be oh, nice. What bag did you decide to make, Cynthia? Okay. That was big enough. So, because I designed and printed one for myself, and I think something went wrong here. Oh, no. Okay, I see. Oh, I did, didn't I? Okay, I gotta unpick this. Otherwise, it's not gonna quite fit. So the top I know on here didn't need to be that big or that long because it's the shorter part of, it's the top of the mound. But I forgot that and I matched up the wrong side. There we go. So I just gotta unpick this real quick. Come on. There. That's what's going on. Oh, good Lord. Be almost easy. Yeah, let's do that. Sunday my way. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were telling me about that. Not that I have any memory skills. I know I have extra on here, so I'm just gonna cut this down and use this for the bottom piece probably. I'm not even worry about cutting that actually. Let's just do this. Okay. So this is what happens when you're clever at the cutting table and then forget about that. Morning, Belle. So as you can see, it's supposed to be longer. Let me see. I really don't want to have to recut these, but I somehow didn't get cut right. All right, hang on. These did not get cut right. They are not the right size. I can tell. That's only 10. That's not long enough. I know it. All right, into the bin you go. There. You get this out. Bear with me for just a moment, y'all. Oh, there's so much stuff all over this table. We've got shade slayers everywhere. Ugh. Okay. You go over there. You go over there. You can rewrite that. This is what happens when you try to save time and you're like, sure, this will work. Oh, I gotta remember I have an idea to use that. Okay. There's what I wanted. Okay, so that'll work. Now I'm going to make sure. Okay. I know y'all are just used to hearing me go, why is this table got everything on it? that'll get put away later. Alrighty. So I have an idea with that. These are the 20 completed shade slayers. Oh yeah, Mona's got her daughter in town right now, so the big B today, huh? Alrighty. Set those aside. These are ones that are stoned that need to be trimmed. Okay. Okay. So, in my need for speed, I did real rough cuts here, so we'll see how well this works. So because I'm doing such a larger cut, I'm going to make sure that this is in the middle. And then I will be looking at my notes because I want to know why that was cut at 10 inches instead of 11. Okay, so I don't have a straight edge on the waterproof canvas. So what I'm going to do is sew along the edge of my vinyl. All right. So I'm sewing at 1/4 of an inch. Definitely sewing at 1/4 of an inch now because I've lost advantage. Joseph, for my shade slayers from I'm using the middle, I'm doing the middle size. I'm actually just using felt that you get on the bolt. It's working out really nicely because the felt doesn't fray. Oh, good God, say that 4 or 5 times fast. Felt doesn't fray. Oh, well, yeah. Not too bad. Okay. What I did was, again, I cut down my edges there. It's another reason I just figured I needed to just cut it off. Might have been able to make it work, but it looked like it was the same size on the other piece too, which would not have worked. Come on, yeah. Come on, I know that's you. There we go. But let me get this top stitch and I'll show you real quick. Ooh, where are you going? I am having a morning, y'all. Here, because that went. Thankfully, it was on the waterproof canvas, but okay. Come on. We'll go there. That's why I keep pliers. Okay. Yeah, there wasn't any way I was leaving that terrible top stitching. So. It's not a bad idea to fix it. Here we go. So sometimes it annoys me when I have too many things. Oh, thank you, Joseph. When I have too many things on my desk, because what happened is when I was sewing, this corner clipped to, I think, either my cup or my little no face over here, and it went askew like that for a moment. So it went up and it did not look very good. So that's why I was taking a moment to pull that out. And even on vinyl, I most likely would have fixed. I definitely would have fixed it. I don't know about this most likely nonsense. Here we go. I can handle a back stitch in the middle of my top stitching. I cannot handle just wavy top stitching. It bothers me. Okay. I have that. Let me quickly show you that before I forget. So what I do for my shade slayers right now is I cut out the shape in the outside vinyl, and then I just rough cut a piece of felt. That's the first step. Then I sew it to the felt at 1/4 of an inch all the way around, but I go back. So I start here where it's going to have that exposed top where you're supposed to top stitch anyways. So I start here at 1/4 of an inch. I go all the way around at 1/4 of an inch, and then I do 1/8 of an inch there as well. Then what I'm going to do is I cut out along this edge, and this edge. I use a straight razor and I cut the felt to the actual edge. With the rest of it, I take my scissors and I undercut so that when I fold it, you don't have any of the felt coming out through here, but it lines up really nicely right there. So here we go. See, so this was cut with the razor and a razor, scroll wheel and a ruler, and this was as well. And then the rest was undercut. That's why you can't really see any of the felt on here. And I stamped the inside using my 3D printed stamp. That if I can get this to work, I'm trying to get it to where YouTube can see it. There we go. Kind of barely. It's mainly because I didn't want to have to sit there and add another step of, I didn't want to do yet another step of adding a stitch tag, and I would have had to add it before I did the 1/4 inch or have it on the back. And I'm trying to make these an inexpensive option. So like 20. If I add something onto it, that adds time, that adds to the cost. So it's just it's also why I'm not going to edge coat them. With the felt, I am thinking about going along with fray check that I use, the stop fray, just so that it doesn't like get caught on stuff and force a fray. But it's not going to fray, it'll just fuzz up. But I really do like that. What is, oh, that is my thread zapper. They're in my Amazon shop. Let me know if it's not. Sometimes it likes to just like bugger out for some reason. But it's rechargeable. It has an indicator for when it's starting to die. I love this thing. It works for zapping threads. It works for sealing the ends of zippers and webbing. And I even use it when you have to do that little curve over, which I think I found a better way for that too to do sometime. All right. Speaking of thread zapping, let me get these 3. Okay. Depending on how much you use it during a bag, I mean, okay. Lord. That's fine. So this is my bag. Oh, no problem. I never mind that. So this is the back that I have right now. This is bigger. The bottom is bigger because the top, it's a soft, almost like a soft mound. It's a rice ball is what it is, pretty much. So I printed myself out a template. I will do my best to contact them and say, hey, any way I can sell these, because I really think I got it just where the size and everything for it. Mainly I'm trying to see because that might work out. Okay. I made sure the window was here, but this way you can hold it down and still like not have to try to spread your hand. I mean, I've got large hands, but even I struggle with that. But I like being able to see where I'm placing it. So somehow it's a little off when it comes to where the window is, but it was just a quick one because I know I'm going to be doing like tons of these. All right, let me go ahead and get my pocket set, because then I might be able to actually have enough to cover the pocket itself. First of all, let's move that over. Again, I have. I'm gonna go this way. Yeah. Oh, did I not even try to cut anything out right? I was going real fast yesterday because I wanted to get make sure that works. I wanted to get a bunch of the shade slayers done. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to take a break from Stephen King's The It. It just seems like it is a lot. It's a lot of book. It is 44 hours on audio, and I've got 2 other books that I checked out that I'm like really excited to read. And I don't want to like stop reading it because I'm enjoying it, but at the same time it's an older book and it has its little hiccups here and there, but it's also a really long fucking book. Steven Weber, though, is doing an amazing job. And if you don't know who he is, he was on a show something recently, but I can't remember what. But he was in my favorite version of The Shining, the miniseries that they did with Rebecca De Mornay, which is the only version of The Shining I accept outside of the book, because at least it was, close. Okay, so this is going to be the slip pocket. What I did last time was I cut out the pattern piece and then just cut down to how tall I wanted the pocket. And that didn't quite work because I forgot that math exists, apparently. See, normally I would do that with a zipper and it would be fine. The problem is that the zipper, doing a zipper on the back means that you're replacing that 1/2 inch that you're losing or whatever your seam allowance is. Okay, that's the wrong one. So I was like, well, oops. Luckily, the pattern on the back makes it invisible. I somehow pattern matched almost to perfection. And I was like, well, okay. So for this one, I added like a 1/2 inch to an inch on both sides. I'm just seeing what is the most comfortable for it. Come on, you. Okay, so I sewed them wrong sides together, flipping them over. Now I'm sewing them right sides, top stitching, and sewing them right sides together. Okay, one of the things I really like about this vinyl is that squishy, spongy thickness really makes the top stitching just freaking pop. I do have some printed for me. This one I got from Impish Geek Designs, which I absolutely love their stuff. Okay, let me see. So just gonna put that to the side. Okay, where are you at? Obviously, I can't clip this or I'll just like completely ruin it. There we go. So I'm marking the center there. I'm not using the sides on the bottom to find my center because I want the centers to match up. All right, let's see how well this works. Here we are. All right. Because I'd like it to be a nice deep pocket. That way they can fit a snack and silverware if they want. But it's also got to, oh dear Lord, I think I matched it up just right. Okay, so it looks like, okay. Okay, it looks like that should be right. And that is. Okay, so what I did was I laid down my pocket piece on top and I just kind of adjusted it to make sure that it was within the pattern piece. If I put the pattern piece right at the bottom, then I'm able to line up where it's stitched. See? So this is where I try to think of things like, is it worth doing the squares? Am I going to want to, there we go. I have to do it on this side probably. All right, that's what I'll do. Okay. because of the bump. Lord, people, leave me alone. Because of the bump, it means I can't really press completely down to get a really solid line. So what I'm going to do is use a marker or pen, a marking tool that will actually show up. Okay. That's okay. Hang on. Where's the piece? Oh, there you are. Okay. That's. I'm going to use my paper piece mainly because the other template is for if I'm using the rotary cutter. Also will be a little bit easier to work with. Okay. I'm also going to make some notes once I find my ruler. Mercy. Where did I put it? Ah, covered it with the panel. Okay. Bear with me for just a moment because it'll be easier if I actually cut it to a better length. Okay, so 7. Okay, so yeah. That's 11. More. Okay, so then this is, where are you at? 7 by 11. Okay. Or I had to note that down. I will never remember these numbers ever again without my notes. Okay. And because this is something that's not in the it's not in the pattern. It's not something that I can just look up later. I'm doing these changes myself. Okay, so I traced out my pattern piece. Be very careful. This is how I do my Erica's and quite a few other bound bags. If they have an outside slip pocket, I will do a half and half or, quarter and quarter, whatever it is. Yes, I see. And that way, these curves don't have extra thickness to it. Hey, Salty. How you doing? Let's see. I am fighting here. That should be all I need it to be. Oh, I do need those. Or I could just throw that on the floor, why not? All right. I have almost 3,000 followers on on the gram, and I get more watches on the clock app at a third, soon to be half, of the followers. It's so confusing. Like, I really do not understand that. Okay, so now I'll stop using those because those don't like this thickness. All right, so now that I have the shape cut out, I'm going to mark my centers, and then I'll get my pocket. Oh, that is one of my favorite things. I love when, like, after I finish up with the shadies, the slayers, I will go through and I will put everything away, and I will sweep. I have a little vacuum that I use underneath this because this is where everything goes when it wants to run away. And yeah, it is very, very refreshing. All right, so I'm going to clip it on that bottom. I'm going to make sure that that's nice and even. Oh yeah, that is exactly where I want this. Oh, good Lord. I picked, of course, for bound bags, I sit here and I pick these thick, freaking gorgeous vinyls. There we go. Okay. So, trying to decide how I want to do this. I think what I want to do is actually trace it and cut it, but okay. I normally don't like base things a lot because I don't like going over vinyls that often, but I think this will need it. Oh. If I go, because by basting it down, it means that I can come through with my scissors and cut the excess off. Oh no, you don't. This vinyl also has like a really, I don't want to say sticky, but because it's got different textures on it, sometimes it likes to pull a Cartman and do whatever it wants instead of what I want. It doesn't want to respect my authority. Huh. I have to rethink that part though. I'd rather this go above it than below it, or yeah, a little bit more above it, so that I don't have that. Your room was a mess, and it's a mess. All right, so I've got that. I'm just going to trim off this excess without messing up the integrity of what I cut. You obviously don't have to do it this way. If you want a real easy way to add the pocket to the back, just cut out the pattern piece and then make a pocket. I think what I might do is actually do that. I think I'm going to cut out the pattern piece for the next one. And I'm going to do the way I do it on the other bags with heat transfer on the back. I think that'll help. Okay, I'll make a note of that. All right. Now that nightmare is done, good Lord. What in the world? Okay, but now we have a nice little slip pocket. All right, so this way, yep. Okay. So now I'm going to sandwich my back. My back panel, the thermofuse. Listen to my double-sided tape go wherever it wants. Okay, so all wrong sides together. Got my back panel. I've got the thermofuse with the silver facing into the bag. And then I've got my waterproof canvas. Now I am doing my best that when I'm basting this down, that I'm not going exactly over my stitches. Come on, you. Dang it. Yeah, I think I wouldn't have had as much trouble if I had just done the apothecary vinyl. So this is like puffy. And the reason it's puffy is because it's a thick vinyl. It's a spongy vinyl. And it's got waterproof canvas. Like the thicker stuff. So because of that, it's creating an air pocket. Let's see. I can keep squishing it down. But it'll be fine. You know me. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Ow, 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 ow. Sorry, I think my sugar is really high today. Definitely was last night. All right. I know why my sugar's high. I ate half a carton of ice cream yesterday. No reason. No reason at all. There was no like mountain of depression or just I was done with life. I just remembered there was coffee and cookies and cream ice cream in the freezer that we had already started in on, and I'm like, I just want to eat this. So I did. There we go. Okay. Lords. So that is really cute. And you can add a snap or a magnet, but just remember that with a bound bag, that what happens is it will pull that in. So it's going to kind of keep that from like flapping open. We can put a little Alistair in there. Put a MeAllister in there. Okay, so Lord, I'm so sorry. That should not have taken that long as it did. But we've got at least our 2 panels done. I'm going to make sure that they're the same-ish. Okay. Now, what that tells me is them not being the same-ish. Like, there's a little bit of height on my front. And that is because I made the template a smidge bigger. It'll be fine. Where did that tape go that went flying? Okay. So, boop. Zipper panels. Let's start with these because these are going to be fun. While I'm working on the zipper panels, 2 zipper pulls or 1? I don't think it needs 2. And again, these are things that I think about. Is it worth the extra cost to have that second zipper pull? Or is 1 zipper pull enough? I'm going to do the large side first, or the wider side. We got some cherry syrup, and it's been really good with the Mountain Dew. It's literally like having a Code Red. It's Code Red 0. My diabetes is already very mad at me. I know why it's mad. Half a tub of ice cream will do that to you. It was not one of my better life choices. I do not regret it. I accept there are consequences with it. I'm not like pleased with my decision, but I don't regret it. That's a silly thing to regret. Eat the dang ice cream. Just prepare yourself for the consequences of eating ice cream. I'm looking at my lactose friends for that because I know. There we go. Okay, so I'm marking my center. I'm going to take the backing off of my tape that I have. It's 1/8 inch wide. My zipper tape does not have its zipper pull on it. I'm going to match up my centers on the zipper tape and the zipper panel. And then I'm going to gently hold on to the teeth and guide the zipper tape down. I'm not like tugging, but I'm not like just letting it flop down. It needs a little tautness. Now, the reason folks end up having an issue with wavy zippers when they pull it taut is because they end up only pulling it taut on one side. So we're going to solve the problem of that. We're going to go down here and we're going to mark on the side we're not zipping. The side we're not sewing, I'm going to mark a line right outside the seam allowance or the edge of the zipper panel. I'm even going to I'm going to help myself out for later. That'll be on the back. Yeah, that should be fine right there. No. I'm marking across the teeth on the ends so that I have a way of helping me put on the zipper tape. Okay, so this is what I mean. See, that's going to help you to have an even zipper. And you'll see why. It'll make so much sense when I put the other side on. So I'm going to, you can baste on your zipper if you want. I don't baste it on because I have the tape. That's enough basting. It's going to keep it still. And that's what the basting is for. Again, I have my zipper panels wider than, or the lining is wider than the outside, about 1/4 of an inch. I definitely make sure to do at least 1/4 of an inch when it comes to this waterproof canvas, because see, this is a thick waterproof canvas. This is not a very malleable canvas, which is why it's great for bound bags, because it has a nice firmness to it, and it's going to add to the stability. There was a word, the stability of your bag. So I'm doing 1/4 an inch seam allowance. I'm just going to go down this. Yep. I'm going to hiccup apparently. And we have not seen Charlie yet because he's a little unhappy with me. He has tried 4 times today to escape, to get outside. He wants to be outside. Mama, my heart sings when I am out in nature. Boy, get your ass back inside. Even when it was raining the other day, I put the leash on his collar, and my husband's like, "Oh, he's gonna hate that," and he was just like just having a ball because he's a weird cat. But he tried like 4 times. Actually, pretty much exactly 4 times, because he tried when we left. He tried when I came back from dropping Aaron off at work. And then when I went to set the tea out for the son to make me tea, he tried to get out then, and then he tried to get out when I walked back in. And then he spent a good 5 minutes giving me an operatic Broadway style show of why I was, being cruel to him. So he meowed for like a good 10 minutes. I'm just like, dude, you're not going outside. I don't want to be out there, so you don't get to be out there. We are going to start harness training him, though. Can you repeat why you have the lining 1/4 inch wider? Oh, yeah, Patricia, no problem. Actually, you'll see. So, first of all, waterproof canvas likes to slip, and it can kind of slide around. See, even with me being careful of my the exterior, you can see in a couple of places where the lining kind of poked up a little bit. So having it longer is going to help in that, as well as the fact that this is not going to want to stretch. Fabric has that natural stretch even when you interface it. It'll still have a little bit of a stretch. It'll have a little bit of a give. The waterproof canvas really doesn't have that much. And I would rather have to trim down a little bit than not have it enough. Especially with a bound bag. You have a little bit of leeway with a bound bag, but not like a 1/4 inch too much. It's just better if your lining and that do mix up. So I'm not going to say it's stretching well, but I did use my seam roller, and that seemed to help to get that to sit. But it's going to be pesky, I can already tell, with the top stitching. So let me do that. And as I top stitch, I'm not pushing my vinyl out. I'm pushing it down. With vinyl, it's better to have it kind of pull back a little bit. But so with you pushing the vinyl, with me pushing the vinyl down, I can then concentrate then as well on running my nails along my zipper. If you don't have like nails or that, you can use your ruler. You can use a bone folder. I love those. Let's see, you're trying to do that, aren't you? It is being testy today. There we go. That might help. And it's really hard not to like push and then drag down. And if you do that, it's okay. But you're going to end up pulling your zipper a little weird as well. And you're going to stretch out. If this vinyl has any stretch to it, you're going to stretch it. You're going to make it askew. When I get close to the bottom here, I grab the tail of the zipper and I hold the teeth, not the zipper tape itself, the teeth. The teeth are not going to stretch. Not the way the zipper tape will. All right, let's see here. Oh. All righty. I just kind of, I am, ever since I got like a really good zipper panel, I've just become obsessed with getting to repeat that. So I tend to end up fussing with it. If my anxiety or anything is triggered, I will fuss for like a good 5 minutes without even realizing it. Lately I've been in a high manic kind of process. What is going on here? Oh my goodness. There we go. Sometimes when you snip your thread to pull away from the machine, it's better if you let your foot down. This way, if it snaps back, it's going to snap back, but it's not going to unravel. You're a little sticky. You'll be fine. It's a little, the needle's a smidge sticky because it just went through that tape. But yeah, you can see this is not the same thickness as over here. And it's because it likes to shift, but even then, that's even on the back. It's just the way the waterproof canvas, it's a little bit slippery and a little bit unforgiving when it comes to, so sorry, my throat's starting to go. When being folded over. All right. But so far, I'm very happy with that. Now, if I lay it flat, you can kind of see a couple of waves on this side. We're going to make sure that that doesn't happen when we put it onto the other side. So I'm going to flip this on its back. So I have 3 points of connect. My middles and the back area. Yep. Which one of my marked looked a little weird, but it's because this is longer. My lining tends. So Patricia says that lining tends to be a little short after you top stitch the zipper. Yes, that is most likely what's going on. It doesn't just want to. Why are you? Because somehow there we go. Sorry about that, Graham. Not that I think many people are listening there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got our lining piece there, and I've got my top piece here. And I have no problems in explaining something. I will do my best to explain why I do something. Sometimes I do something on a just instinct. I listen to my gut that says, hey. But fun fact, this extra was born from just pure laziness. I was cutting out a bunch of them, and it was just easier to cut out a little bit wider and to go with that than it was to trim it all down. And I found that it fit better. So yay, laziness for the win. So I've got my midpoint. I'm going to put that, and I'm not, puzzle piece. Hang on. Come on. There we go. So I'm not like stretching this, but I am pulling it straight when I go to put it down. Let's see. So I'm going to line that up and about an inch and a half on each side of the middle mark. Then I'm not going to worry about any other part right now. I'm going to line up the end of my zipper panel. I can keep it from sticking to me. With the inside of that mark. Oh, mother of God. You stop sticking to my nails. Get it? Yeah, right there. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of clamp that down. Then I'm going to make sure that that's kind of lined up. And I'm going to ease in the zipper. I say ease in because you have a good chance that your zipper tape is going to feel like it's like you need to pick up that mark and move it out. Don't do that. That is how you get a wavy zipper. Just adjust it so that it's fitting, it's eased into it. It's just like easing anything into a section. So again, I'm going to pull that end of my zipper tape up to that mark. Sometimes you can just squeeze it, like tuck it apart. I'm sorry, you can kind of snap it like you would a Slim Jim, apparently, is all that comes to my mind. I might need to go snap into a cheese stick. There we go. Okay, so what that's going to do is keep the same amount of zipper you did on one side onto this side. So now we're going to put our other side, and because this is another part where I cut it as one rectangle and then cut it down into the two pieces. Clip this. Go. And then we're going to make sure that that's actually lined up. Here we are. Now, what are you doing? Come on. There we go. Okay. Again, I'm sewing at 1/4 of an inch. Again, when I get towards the end, anytime I'm sewing my zipper, I'm using that tail to keep the zipper straight. Sometimes I feel like I really just need an extra hand, like just one to hold one thing so that I'm not stretching my fingers. If anybody's ever knitted a sock with 4 pins, it is definitely an interesting task trying to cast on for that. Okay. Oh, screen. All right. If you know that your lining material has a little stretch, you don't want to like use up too much extra, you can always just do like 1/8 of an inch. This side, I'm definitely going to try to, because it fought me on that other side. That's why I do the larger side first. It's usually easier to top stitch. So I'm just using my seam roller to kind of press it down. Okay. Now I'm making sure too, when I go to top stitch, that when I start, that my panels are lined up. Morning, Heaven. I am working on a lunch bag. The pattern that I'm using is in the bio, my link tree. Okay, once I get down a little bit, then I can just concentrate on making sure this sits. And you'll see that I'm tugging out, but I'm only tugging my lining. Okay. Because I do a smaller seam allowance and I do pretty much the gusset measurement split up. In this case, I'm doing a 6-inch gusset. That's right. Something to that effect. Yeah. So because of that, it means that my sides, that this is going to be wider. And that's fine. That's good, because that means I can concentrate on just making sure my zipper is nice and straight. With a nice straight zipper, it means that I can use that. Sorry for the noise. Just trying to get that nice and straight. One little wiggle that's going to bother me, but it's going to bother me and probably nobody else. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over the cutting table real quick. I say real quick facetiously because there's stuff all over the place on it, of course. as there always is right now. And I'm going to trim it down. So I'm going for a full 6 inches on here. And that's what she said. So one side from the middle of the zipper, I'm going to measure out 4 inches from the zipper and trim down that side. And then I'll flip it over and use that to line up here from the middle of the zipper 2 inches. And that will give me the right size gusset. Right now, it's about, what, a quarter an inch too big, something like that. Let me see, where's my gusset at? I know I'm also, in the world did you get buried? Okay. Yeah, so it's about like 1/8 of an inch thick. I couldn't help it. Why is there stuff all over the place over here? Okay, so hang on. Those are sewn slade. Those are finished slade. Template. I will need this, but not this. I don't want to get that all over the place. All right, here we go. All right. Guess I'm starting on this. Oh, that hurt my legs. I'm not actually having to cut off too much. Alrighty. Now we have a beautiful and lovely mess. Hang on. Stay. Please don't knock that over. And over there you go. Okay. All right. So here we go. Morning, babe. We weren't sure if we'd see you. We know you got the kiddo in town. All right. Let me get these snipped. Okay, so now we have a nice, even and straight zipper panel. I am working on a lunch bag today. The pattern that I'm mostly using is in the bio. Oh, I know why I did that. Okay, that's fine. It'll be fine. It will be fine. And I say it that way because, one, I don't believe they really allow tutorials. So it's more along the lines that y'all are just kind of here while I sew. And I do need to put that one in. The other thing is that I've already changed like a bunch of stuff. So for that, I can say that I have been changed for good. Good Lord, head. It's like, why don't you just keep all the fun lyrics in your head? Because I'm trying to decide if I can use these scraps as a handle, but I don't think I like that idea. It's not thick enough for the way I'm doing the handles anyways. Okay. That is definitely what she said. Oh, don't tell me it's buried under here somewhere. Oh, no, there it is. That's right. Okay. Oh, well, that's not webbing, so never mind. Okay, so they have a little handle in the pattern. Also, very, very honest. Like I said last time, I still have yet to actually look at the actual pattern instructions. I kind of glanced at them and was like, okay. So, I'm using a 26-inch piece of webbing for my handle on top. And I have my measurements written down for that too. So. No. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and okay. So for the top handle, I need my webbing, 2 D-rings. Don't need really those, but I will need my tape. We'll use that. Okay. And then I need markings. And a ruler. That is my thread zapper. It's called a candle lighter. It is a rechargeable one, and it even tells you when or at what level your battery is. It's in my store, in my recommends list on Amazon in the Bayou. Let's see. So I know that. That's actually going to work. Okay. What in the world was that? Okay, so something just like fell somewhere. And I just want y'all to know, if I suddenly like disappear and there's a cry, it's because apparently my chair broke. I am very adamant, no matter what, after DragonCon, I will have a new chair. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how I did. Okay. Because I've got the numbers written down, but I've also got them memorized, but one of them confused me, so got an error 404 going on over here. There we go. Okay. That's yep. Just gonna put okay. I got it. I'm gonna have to mark it on the other side as well, but this will give me my marks. So, I'm pretty much doing the handle similar to the it's either the classic handbag or the sassy. Both have similar techniques. So I've got my first mark up. I'm going to put a piece of tape in the middle of that, maybe. It doesn't want to stick to my hand. Apparently, I'm very sticky today. Not me being sticky. I don't know. Y'all, I've had like 3 hours of sleep. So I'm going to be That's why I did skip coffee because I chose Mountain Dew. Because the soda water helps when I'm not feeling good more than the coffee does, even though I'm very sad I have not had coffee. I might have some after I pick up Aaron. Oh, because I can sleep in a little tomorrow or take a nap. Oh, a nap. Does anybody else like dream of doing something like taking a nap, and they're like, oh, I'll be able to carve out a half an hour and I'll be able to nap. And the moment you're like, yes, I can go nap, and then you're like, well, first let me do this. And next thing you know, your nap time has been spent by doing other things. Hey, Miss Psych, how are you doing? Sometimes it takes me a moment to say hi. I'm so sorry if I do miss anyone. So I've got my Thermobright, the insulation, Insulbright. There it is. Yes, I remember the word. Okay, so this is going to be fun because on one side I am putting the Insulbright, boning, and a webbing candle. So that will probably be better. So I had a little trouble when I did it with the other one, only because everything wanted to scooch around as it is ought to do. So I'm going to take 2 little pieces of tape. I'm going to put them right. So I'm going to lift up here and put them well out of the range of where I'm going to sew. Oh, that's what I'll do. So again, putting the foil towards the lining. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to first tuck this in. I don't know if anybody makes a self-adhesive, but I think the adhesive might make it way more than anybody would be able to really afford to put in a bag. So to keep this from shifting, that's when I'm going to take the paper off the back of my tape and just kind of get that to go there, to stick to it. Okay, I may have watched a few hours of American Dad trying to fall asleep. It did not work, but at least I was entertained. And it's bothering the cracker out of me. Hang on. That's a 2. Sometimes my eyes like to mess with how... Oh, hey, Val. How are you doing? Now I can see your little picture. Oh, right. 3/4, I think, was what I wanted to do. That is 1. Nope. Foot's caught. There we go. I think I'm going to do 1 inch. No, I like 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to do 3/4 from the edge of the panel where the top stitching is. Take off one of the paper backings. Now this needs to be longer. The webbing needs to be longer than your than the panel. Here we go. To forgive me, the webbing's thin, so it likes to kind of do this weird askew thing if I'm not careful. It's going, that's for sure. Oh, here they are. I can stop losing things. All right, so I'm going to put both of the D-rings on there. And then I'm going to slide one to where my line is on the other side. There you are. Put just a little crease there. Hey, buddy. Hey. No. Come here. Come here. Here we go. Yes. Just leave the sewing machine alone. Say hi, Charlie. Everybody gets to see Charlie. You're not mad at mommy anymore. You want your face rubbed? Hang on. There we go. Yes. As long as I don't get your whiskers, right? Love you too, buddy. You're ridiculous. Is that really where the first one is? Yes. Okay, so I've got my mark there. I'm going to take the paper off the second piece. And I'm going to make sure that is the same length away. What you want, buddy, huh? Are you here to remind mommy that she should get a cheese stick? I know it's only because you think I'll share. Oh my goodness, what a yawn. He was definitely mad at me yesterday because I wouldn't share my ice cream. I couldn't share it with him. It was chocolate. It had chocolate in it. It had cookies in it. The Oreo cookies. I don't know what you were thinking, little man, but I can't give you the chocolate. You do not want a vet bill from you on that nonsense. Here we go. Okay, that's better. I mean, I probably could put these up higher, but I think they're okay down there. Is it Charlie? Yes. Will you quit rubbing your face on my sewing machine, please, sir? I would appreciate it greatly. Okay. All right. Let me make sure that this one matches up. He is a distracting. You're a terrible supervisor. You know that? I don't get anything done when you're around because all I want to do is cuddle your face. Your little capybara face. Don't fall asleep right there, please. Just kind of making sure everything's lining up. Okay, and then I need to make marks on each side. Actually, let's do that. I want to try this instead. I'm going to switch the way the marks are done. I'm going to do the longer one going up and then the shorter one, so that if somebody does want to put a strap on it, it won't hang weird. Okay. And then from there, okay, yes, that is exactly what that needs to be. So let me do this. 1995 is the year. Okay, got that. We'll do that. Yeah, you done? You good? I know he was here checking for food. Actually, I think he just wanted cuddles, and because I wasn't giving him all the cuddles that he thinks he deserves. Okay. I'm going to clip this together so that it's out of the way. Alrighty. So what I'll do is I'll sew up a box here to this mark here. Then I will come back around and sew a box around here to this mark, and that'll leave a handle. Okay, sorry, just checking everybody, make sure you're all any questions. Here we go. Okay, and we're off. Putting a bit of space in between those two pieces of tape does allow me to get a nice tight. Ooh, thank you. I appreciate it. It does allow me to get a better fit for the D-ring. Oh, little sound effects. It also means usually I don't have to back out of the room. I can just go down. There we go. Okay. Now, if you're not putting boning in it, you can just then go around to the other, just kind of sew around to the other side. I don't want to close off that channel just yet. But the nice thing is this will really secure that Insul Bright. Oh, that's not the trash can. There we go. That goes there. Almost. I'm just getting rid of that mark because it's a heat erase pen. I can use my candle to get rid of the mark when I need to. Okay. I'm going to do the other sides real quick just so that it's kind of stationary and I don't have things moving about weirdly. I don't want anybody moving about the cabin right now. One thing you want to do is make sure that your lining isn't shifting too much. Because linings have a bad habit of doing whatever they want when you're not keeping an eye on them. That'd be kind of cute. Now that my cutting machine is here, my new one, I really want to try out the SVGs that Kayla at Carolina Little Stitches has us trying out for Halloween versions of the Itty Bitties. And I'm really excited because I also have an idea. Come on. I also have an idea to do a candy corn one that I think would be super duper cute. And actually wouldn't be as much work as one might think. Okay, so that's what I have right now is I've got both sides like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this as tight as I can and make sure that this is exactly where I need it. And I'm actually going to start I'm trying to decide how I want to start this so that it's even and not fighting it. Like I said, I need an extra pair of hands. So I'm going to start up here because then then that kind of tacks it in place. There we go. And again, this webbing's a little thin. So it's really good for this. I just have to make sure that it doesn't like stretch weirdly. Okay, here we go. So we're just doing a box again. You don't have to do a box. You can, if you want, just do like some rivets. It's a lunch bag. I doubt they're going to be putting bricks in there, but I don't know how your banana bread comes out, so it might be heavy. I know sometimes my banana bread might come out a little on the heavy side. That just means it was really, really good for French bread or for French toast. If you've never done banana bread French toast, I need you to take a moment in your life to reward yourself for existing because it is the best thing. 1 egg, cup of heavy cream, dip and grill, sear really nicely, drench with butter and whipped cream. So good. Okay, let's see if I can actually, what I'm going to do. Just so you know, too, your that's why my tension was looking weird. Your stitches are going to be seen on the other side because you're going through all the layers. Go through all the layers. I promise you, nobody's going to notice too much, and it's just little rectangles. You can always do your bobbin thread the same color as your lining too if you're really wanting to do that. I'll see you later, Mel. Have a good one. Oh, nice, adorable. I'm so glad that you I hope you enjoyed making them. For the cutting out 3, I like cut out 1, did it, and then went and cut 10. And what I plan on doing is after Dragon Con, I know my sojo is going to be kind of low, depending on how the convention goes. Because no matter what, I'm going to be tired, but there's like a good chance that I'm going to be like tired and like, oh God, I need to get to work. And there's a chance that I'm going to be tired because I didn't sell as much as I thought I was going to. But I've been doing this new thing in the last few years where I go in with not like sky high hopes, but, you know, not, well, you know, I'm going to be taking all this stuff home type thought process. Most of my life, I have just kept to the thought process that if I don't hope for it, I might actually get it, which is a terrible way to exist, just so you know. It's no fun. Ever since my husband came into my life, I have definitely started to adapt the thought process of the Blue Lantern. So if you get a chance, definitely look up the Blue Lantern Oath. It is a wonderful thought process. But I know some folks also have problems where their sojo just dips or goes to nothing. I think these are an amazing scrap buster, and they're such a quick sew, and you get so much joy out of them. They're almost instant gratification. So I think what's a really good idea is I'm going to cut out like probably 20 of them, but I'm going to put them individually into Ziploc bags. And when my sojo's low, I'm just going to grab one of those and do it. I'm not going to think about what I need to cut, nothing else. Just going to make a little bitty bag. And I think that's just a good idea for everybody to have just like instant sojo bags. I need to get shakies. I do appreciate all the gifts, everyone, and the follows. I'm so close to 2,000. It's crazy. I love it. To the table at Dragon Con is a pricey venture. What was my last bill this time? So I have electricity, two and a half booths now. So I think well, I'm not counting the badges, but for a back corner, or well, what they call the back corner, it's just the other side of the wall, but it's still a nice corner booth. I think was about $2,000. But that's giving me, let's see, 5, 10, because it's a 10 by 10. So I'm getting 10. That's right. It's girth, not width. Or width, not girth, something to that effect. So the half booths are pretty much a 10 by 10 space that is in half. So you're not paying for a full booth. And it is definitely how I got in, was I did well on my portfolio, and Tracy really liked my stuff. So that helped a lot. By the way, look at that. Ta-da! I love this. I really do. And if you think the handle is too big, all you have to do is go in with a couple of rivets right there. Bam. Less handle. But it's going to stretch out a little bit because it's going on a curve. But with Dragon Con, so now at this point, my space is 25 by 5. So like I said, it's that's what I say. It's length, not girth. It's got me in trouble a couple of times too. The Ankh vinyl? Which vinyl is that? This is the Apothecary Diaries. Next to you. Oh, you're shopping in the background. Don't worry, I do that too. This is Moon Knight. That I had an artist friend, he designed it for me. Because my husband loves Moon Knight. And I was like, this is awesome. So I do like this design a lot. Whoop. And up you go. I think I have a roll of that for D-stash. So let me know if you need it. It would be 18 by, I want to say 53 inches, something like that. Oh, Moon Knight's fantastic. The show was really good. The only thing that makes me just twitch is, and it's the same problem I have with a lot of Greek mythology stories, is 90% of the time Hades is a bad guy in it. And I'm like, just because Mofo is forced to run the underworld doesn't make him a bad dude. In fact, most of the time, he's not the one doing anything wrong. Okay, Persephone, but that's a whole another ball of wax. But I don't like in the Moon Knight show where they took an underworld goddess and made her the villain. It feels like low-hanging fruit for me. But, oh gosh, I'm almost out. Got some soda water over here though still. Bam. Soda water. All right. Just double checking everything. Okay. Now we're going to add the boning in. And I'm going to need to get more boning again. Lord. At your roses in bloom. I get Because I have a couple in here. Okay. Alright, I'm just kind of measuring for a rough cut. I'm most of the time trying to make sure I'm at least a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch away from the edges. You can sew through this. You really don't want to have to fold it over though. If you're using fabric, I highly recommend taking a lighter. I use this guy and just kind of going over the edges and just soften them. I don't really have to worry about it because nothing I have is going to be affected by that. Okay, there we go. So for this side with the with the webbing on it, we've pretty much created a nice boning channel. So I'm going to go from this end, maybe. All right, where's the end that I softened? Because that might work better. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. There we go. This is why I went 3/4 of an inch away, because I wanted to make sure that that I had plenty of room. To put the boning in and not have to fight. And then I'll just feel on the other side where it is. There we go. When I don't have the insole bright, it's a little easier to feel on the other side. All right, so there's one side. The other side, this is where we're going to have some fun. Okay, that's what I'm going to do this time. So I'm going to take a couple pieces of double-sided tape, probably about 3. I just put the boning in on the side with the webbing. Hang on, I'll show you. I'm putting pieces of tape right now on my, on my lining. One in the middle and one at each end. With the first piece of boning, I just put it right in between this. Because sewing down the webbing kind of creates a nice boning channel. God, I can't say it without some small child in me giggling. Oh, sorry. Sometimes soda water is just the best. Okay. And then I'm going to take 3 more pieces of tape. Whenever you're working with the skinnier side, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge because we've got that. Oops, no, I don't want you up that high. Dang it. Let's see if, okay, there we go. Well, that might not work anymore. We'll see. I'm putting the tape close to the zipper itself because that's where you really want it anyways. Okay. So first I'm going to put my down. Now I have to clip back this because a piece of my tape came off. Actually, that might work out better. So we'll do that anyway. We'll do that on both sides. All right. So I've clipped back my lining. I'm going to take off the paper. This is just to keep things, the less you have to fight, the better you can concentrate on your stitching itself. So I have one straight edge and then one like really wonky end. But I'm just going to tape that down. I'm just going to press it into the seam as well as onto that tape. Now, if you want, you can attach it when you're doing your zipper. Just remember that anytime you put anything in that zipper theme, that zipper seam is going to bulk it up. It's going to make it puffy and it's going to be hard to sew through. And your stitches are not going to look great on the other side unless you are really good at knowing your machine enough to know where you've got to situate your tension. It's a lot. Yeah, Creations. It is every time. I'm like, man, can I please get a different word for that polyester stuff, please? But the only thing that comes to mind is making it stiffer, and that does not help either. So I've got that taped down in there. Where'd my bone go? There it is. Just want to make sure that I actually, yeah, because I did cut it a little short. You can, yes. I'm sorry. Somebody asked if you can straighten the boning out, because if you've got like a heat gun or a, yeah, nope, there is no making this better. If you have a heating tool, you can straighten it out. I don't recommend doing that as much, mainly because of the fact that having it at this roundness is going to help the roundness of your bag. I use the 1/2-inch tape and not the 1/4 inch so that some of that overlapping tape will stick to the lining, or in this case, the Insulbright. So I'm pushing that. This is where your lining can get kind of askewed. Weird. So this is going to help a lot with having those bits of tape. Oh, I gotta. Why is this sticking weird? Okay. Almost there. One, I'm going to put my zipper pull on because I almost forgot last time I made this. And I don't want to forget. I don't want to punch that on my bingo card. I swear if you were up there. Okay. Listen, I'm telling you, there are so many cats that died in this house or something, because all I ever see is ghost cats. Cats out of the corner of my eye, and they're not mine. So weird. Oh, come on. Let's see how this goes. Because when I baste it, I like to baste the whole thing, if at all possible. And it's not liking this zipper. There we go. Okay. So I'm only doing one zipper pull. It's a lunch bag. I don't think it really needs it. Let's see. I'm having to create butcher knife clutch bag. So I guess you're going to make one. Yeah. I mean, okay. So weird suggestion. There is, I think it's by the same people that did the Shade Slayer. It's called the Bottle Me Up pattern. I have it. I just haven't made it yet. But it has it to where you probably could make the butcher knife in that method. It's just instead of a bottle, you would do the shape of the knife. Because what it is it's kind of like those bags you see in not Halloween Town, Spirit, where it's a small bag, but then it's got that outer layer that's not really connected to that part of the bag. If you look up Bottle Me Up, I swear it's Bottle Me Up or Potion Bottle. Yeah, I think it's them. I want to say it's them. I haven't had a chance to make it. I have watched a couple of videos, and it looks like a very well put together pattern. And I bet you could use that. And like I said, instead of cutting out the shape of the bottle, just cut out the shape of a knife. Yeah. Like have the bag portion in the blade part of it and have the handle sticking out. I have a request right now for a switch bag, but they want it to be a backpack that can hold the switch inside. And I'm like, okay. And I showed them what I already have, and they're like, that would work. However, and I'm like, oh my God, however. Run a small business. You will learn to hate the word however. Time is it? Oh, that's not too bad. It's only 11:15. Right? I do agree with that. Right? 15 past. Yeah. So it's only 11. It's only after 11. So we're doing really, really good. And it hits the window. I might have to go grab a cheese stick. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, straight out of like at least 30 minutes of solid sleep, with the hugest craving for a Waffle House omelet and hash browns. And I was 95% sure that I was about to get out of bed. All right, there we go. And go get that. I don't know why. It was, I mean, it's not a wild thing because oh, no problem. When somebody starts doing it, I have this incessant need to help and to solve problems. So while it's a lovely thought process, sometimes you have to remember that most of the time somebody is ranting because they want to be heard, not because they want you to solve their problem. So I've been getting better at not parroting, but repeating back certain things only so that you know I'm listening. And then if you're like, well, what would you do? Then I will open the vault of advice and let the floodgates go. But oh my goodness, I'm hungry. Oh, but it's not an odd thought process to want Waffle House like that. And it's not even an odd menu choice for me. It's usually cheese and eggs or a cheese omelet. And I always get my hash browns covered and sliced. Sliced? topped. Sliced as mushrooms, which I do like. Used to have those things memorized. So right now, by the way, I'm just kind of trimming off all the excess of everything. You honestly could wait until you got everything installed to trim it down. Just be wary that adding in a zipper pull does make it a little bit more difficult to trim if you're using a long ruler in that. All right. I'm just trimming off all this Insole Bright. But then we've got the zipper panel done. I can run and get a couple cheese sticks because I might get one. I might as well get two. Captain's mushroom. Thank you. Yes. No. I believe you on that. So what is tomatoes topped? Tomatoes is topped, isn't it? Because I always use, I know scattered, covered, and smothered because that's how my dad used to get them. Diced. I don't know shit right now. I don't know anything. Yeah, because I really like the tomatoes in it. Well, I will tell you right now, by the way, that's true, you dice tomatoes. Aaron likes them all the way sometimes. Everything. Just throw it all in there. He's like, if it's back there, throw it on there. Which we went one time and we had a really good cook who had a sense of humor. So he threw like, he must have just had like a random hamburger patty or something. So he threw that on there. He really he heard Aaron go, if it's back there, just throw it on there. And he threw an egg on there. He must have had like just some leftover bits of chicken or something. I don't know, man. I really do feel like if it was food and it was back there, he threw it on there. Aaron was not unhappy. But Waffle House has one big flaw. They have a big missed opportunity. Why are they not doing waffle sandwiches? I made a waffle egg sandwich one time. I got the waffle and all the stuff. I got the All-Star. I put everything on. I was eating it. I'm like, this is amazing. Why are they not doing this? It's so good. There's our panel. And hang on, now I'm really freaking hungry. Doggone it. Now I just want cheese and eggs. Did you hear me? Don't give me a side eye like that. Tiamat likes to go into cabinets. Fortunately, they're the cabinets that have the chemicals in it. I've never been to a Huddle House. Hey, buddy. Oh, I know why you want love or why you're up here. You want cheese. Huh? Just what you want? Okay. Y'all don't understand. He has a sweet tooth. He loves ice cream. Like my pancake sausage stick in the morning. He don't want the sausage. Very good little boy. Oh, he don't want the sausage. He wants the pancake. All right, you get one more piece, mister. No, no, no. Okay, that's my good boy. Hmm? Okay. I love you too, buddy. Okay, so I'm trying not to. Y'all know. I'm trying. I try not to put anything in seams that doesn't need to be. So I'm going to do what I should have done when I cut this. Is I'm going to trim this down because I want it to sit inside. But I want it to sit kind of snug. So we'll take that piece. It's better than his sister when she stresses out. No, somebody's just at you. Thank you. I love you too, little man. Look over here. Look right there. Okay, there you go. I wish one to at you. I love you too, buddy. I love you so much. You're my favorite thing. You know that? Don't tell Aaron. See, if I walk into the room and he's laying on the bed, he'll meow. My husband walks into the room. He might say, acknowledge his existence. Yeah. Every cat we've had together, though, has ended up being his cat after being a kid. They're mine in kitten stage. Once they hit cat age, they're his cats. So this is the first one that has loved me since he was a baby. Aaron picked him even. And he is like high energy. And every once in a while, he'll go running through the house and like tear up something. And I'll just look at Aaron and I'm like, you picked him. He's like, yeah, but I swear he was sedated because he was chill at the shelter. He was so chill at the shelter. And then, just half an hour after we got him home, terrorizing the house. I'm like, what is going on? So Aaron swears up and down that they had him sedated. No, it's just I need a high energy. Ow, son of a mother. I just need a high energy kitty, don't I? I need somebody that matches my own manic. Okay. If you cut your gusset thicker, wider than you need, like if you do a rough cut like I do, make sure that if you put it to one side, like you line up one side but not the other, that you remember which side you did that to. But I'm actually going to fix mine so that I feel like I'm missing a clip. Yeah? Goodbye? You have given me my allotted time. You made sure I had a snack. Okay, here we go. I'm going to distribute the extra evenly. Oh, mother. Okay, so I don't know if I was just I'm hulking out or something, but this is like the 10th clip that has just broken on me. 2 today. And these 2 have been glitter clips. Seems extra horrible. But I'm distributing it evenly, mainly because I want to have that extra on both sides. I'm going to put my cheese stick over there for right now. God, I hope I don't forget it. Okay, so I've got this. Thank you, hon. Oh, I got roses. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is sew this, and then when I flip it over, when I go to top stitch it, that's when I'm going to kind of tuck this in and should end up grabbing. Let's see, when you get a chance, oh, popped up. Get a chance, look at my makes on my profile, please. Advice is appreciated. Problem. And you're more than welcome to ask like questions and stuff. I do not mind at all. The reason I do the lives is for that. And that's actually actually what I really like with doing the lives is that right now I'm batch sewing and I'm going batch crazy, sewing the same thing over and over. So doing a different like bag in that specifically for the lives has been nice. Like I'm trying to decide for the next live. I'm either thinking a new wallet for myself so it matches my new bag, or the new pattern by Scroll and Turquoise. It's a cute little like sling. It's a little bit like the lens sling, not the can't remember what she called it. I would swear sling, but it's the one that's just, about yay big. Now I hear him out there. I might be able to carefully open this so he doesn't hear it. You just have to be real quiet. Seems legit makes a wallet that's on my list. Oh, good. I do hope that bottle pattern helps you out. I would recommend watching a couple of the videos from folks. The instructions aren't bad, but it always helps me to watch somebody make it so that I can comprehend what I'm reading. That's a big me thing, but is that not the strumpet? But I've seen it a couple of times. I've got a thinner wallet pattern from Maggie, and then I've got one called the Legend, I want to say. It has a little Ida window. So I might do those and then offer the inserts for it. Okay. So I stitched mine at 1/4 of an inch. Like the ones, Twyla, so you're wanting to see the kinds of bags I do? Instagram's a good place for sure. Here's not too bad. If you see a bag pattern that you like, just let me know. I always do a test bag if I haven't done that bag yet. The cheese is squeaking a little when I chew on it. Because I get the cheddar mozzarella mix. It was really funny because your packages came in. And he's like, I thought you ordered a cutter. I'm like, I did. He's like, none of this looks like what you ordered. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you don't remember what you ordered? I'm like, no, honey, I never remember what I ordered. I just let the packages come. Actually, it used to be really bad when I did a lot of pre-orders. When I had all of this fabric up here is from pre-orders mainly. The nice thing is that I don't have to hide that from my husband. It upsets me that people feel they have to hide purchases. Like if it's that bad, you do need to reevaluate what you're buying all the time. I don't buy as much fabric, mainly because I don't use fabric that much. But even with vinyl, I got to be careful. I say I've got to be careful, and then I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to end up spending in the end of August when Luna opens up the vinyl rerun in Night Till Dawn. The fact that I bought a box of mystery vinyl from Cosmic, which was hilarious because my husband's like, just do it. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, just go ahead and get it. You're gonna be upset if you don't. I'm like, I'm supporting a friend. He's like, you're supporting a habit. I'm like, shh, you. There we go. Ooh, that's a good score. I only hide gifts. Exactly. You really should only hide gifts. If you're in a partnership with this other person, so it's a good idea to kind of stay in that partnership. Usually I don't trim down my zipper. I think I'm going to trim down my zipper a little bit, and that's only because it's such a long zipper panel before the curve. I don't want this to I don't want the zipper to mess with the aesthetics of the bag or the way it sits. So I'm just going to trim it down. I'm still leaving about 1.5 inches. And that's because I just really like to have a long zipper. I like long zippers and I cannot lie. Okay. And I trimmed my corners again to help with that punk embroidery. Ooh, nice. I know I want a purse and matching wallet with the zippers. Oh, good. Good. The best thing, and I'll tell folks about the best thing about a custom for me is if you want like some extra pockets, we can definitely talk extra pockets. We can talk extra items. You need a keychain holder. I mean, I'm all about making a bag that functions and will keep functioning for you. All right, so I've tucked the Insel Bright there. And I did kind of tuck it under. So what I'm under the seam of the lining. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit bigger than 1/8. First, I'm going to go ahead and get that started. And then where are you at? I'm going to take my hump jumper. Just to kind of help it. Well, you really wanted to fling that, didn't you? I'm going to see how well this works. Should do just fine. All right. Yes, I do have a hump jumper. Actually, where'd you go? There you are. I do sell these on Fat Rabbit. So it's a 3D printed one. This was one of the first ones. So I'm looking at how to 3D print it so that it can have a little, where are you going? Have a little indentation for a magnet so that you can stick it to your machine, but not the man. Oh, one day I will not say everything, so I did have a little bit over there. That's fine. As long as there's no huge looping, I'm quite okay with it, especially because the outside looks really nice. Let's see. I'm going to see if it's actually, it feels like it got caught mostly, so that's good. Now, the thing is that we're still not going to sew this into the seam. So first, I'm going to clip my linings or my exteriors together. If you want to baste this, you're more than welcome to. Not a bad idea. I just know how well it'll clip, how to clip it, so I'm not too concerned, even though I clipped it on the wrong side. Nope. I like having the clips lay a certain way. Actually, sometimes when I'm watching Jess from Oakland Roots clip things, I can feel my left eye twitching a little bit. Watching her put somewhat in what I feel is upside down, and I'm like, stop it. All right, so I'm going to leave this part kind of dangling. Now, because the gusset is so much shorter, you do have to kind of do this rolling thing. So, eyes are dry. So, what I do is as I'm pushing this down, I'm lining up the sides. I'm making sure that it's nice and straight. That having money in different weird ways bothers my husband a lot. So he would definitely understand that. Okay, so I'm straight, and then I'm sorry because I'm not straight. So I have this all even, and then I'm going to push the little bump down and then roll this over. I'm over rolling so that I have a chance to clip everything that I want clipped. Remember, if you rough cut, by the way, like I do with the zipper panel by cutting it wider, I do the same thing on here. If I know that this is not going to stretch, that it's not going to fold over really well, then I cut it about usually a 1/4 inch longer. So if, say, for example, you needed a 10-inch gusset, 10-inch long gusset, I cut 10 1/4 on certain textiles because I know it's not going to stretch. I just do that for the lining, though. I don't for that purpose. I have those days where I'm like, phone, why do you not like me? And then there are days when I have to give my phone a break because I'm typing something and it's like it's guessing words because it has no idea what I'm trying to type. Aardvark, is that what you're trying to go with? Albuquerque? No. Affidavit. Listen, bitch. You weren't trying to type affidavit. Okay? Because there's no way. You didn't even hit the F button. You weren't close to it. So I don't know what you're trying to tell yourself. But here's aardvark. I just feel so bad for my phone some days. Because I cannot spell. I was given other great skills and talents. Spelling was not one of them. go. Okay. Again, I'm leaving this, I was leaving this loose for now because I just want to make sure that it's not um, too thick of a seam on the sides mainly. The sides are what I'm worried about. Worried is the wrong word. Concerned. I am concerned for these sides. Because if you clip it nice and low to the seam, then it doesn't bulk out as much. Bend out? Maybe bend is right. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this piece, and I can already see there's a good chance it's not going to get caught in the seam this time. That's perfectly fine. I needed it at least on this side to be. Seems the wrong word, but in the top stitching. It actually might. But what I'm going to do is I've smoothed it out, and I'm going to clip and make sure that it doesn't kind of shift around too much, because now we're going to flip this out. Okay. I always do my top stitching with it inside out. It seems to work better. There we go. Yeah, see, everything's gonna fit nasty. It almost feels like cheating because with any other gusset, you kind of have to roll it to make sure that it's actually fit. You can't just like hope, you can't press down and hope that that's right. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be good. All right, let's see that. Okay, that'll be fine. So I'm going to start at the place where I top stitched. Go, and I'm going to start basting there, making sure that everything. Now, what you can do if you are still relatively new to bound bags and gussets like this, and even if you're not, honestly, if you're like, this feels like it's shifting, clip it. It's okay. As you can see, I should be buying this bag dinner the way I'm holding it down, holding on to it. To keep everything straight, but that's on me. That's just me being a little lazy. Sometimes lazy works out, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so I've gone down that side. I'm going to pull this up and turn over and kind of like push this out of the way. Where'd you go? There we go. Now, yeah, because it's a short mark. So what I'm going to do now, so I don't have to cut the thread in that, it's going to be a little bit difficult. There we go. But I'm going to turn this around. And again, I'm going to be pushing everything down. Try not to. Y'all don't know how many times I've smacked my face into this. Yeah, when you're sewing on the other side of your foot like that, it can get a little easy to squish things in the wrong direction. So if you're doing it this way, make sure you're taking a second to adjust as you go. And out there. Baby, baby, it's Whoa, whoa. All right. The reason I based with the wrong side out is because it's stretching this to its maximum. And it's going to be a little bit easier to make sure that everything sits well. See, when I put this, it's going to look a little bit baggy. You kind of want that because remember, with a bound bag, it's going to be pulling and stretching everything a little bit taut. Oh yes, it's a candle lighter. But I call it the thread zapper, zap stick, that darn thing. Where'd it go now? It's in my Amazon storefront or list, which if you go to the Bayou, my link tree has that. It's rechargeable. I absolutely adore it. It does, like, this does close in. When it's charging, you can't use it. So that's another safety feature in case you have little ones who have that thought process still in their head that everything is theirs. Let's see. So that looks good. That went through nicely. That went through really well, actually. Okay, good. So what I need to do now is just trim my sides a little bit. Not much. There we go. And whenever I trim them for bound bags, you'll always see me kind of have my scissors at this angle. I'm actually tucking the blade underneath my exterior to trim it down, to trim down a little bit extra. That should help with the bulk a little bit too. Because see, this is not going to be in the seam now. Oh yeah, I love using that tool. You could also use it to. Sorry, words are very difficult. Suddenly, I say suddenly. No, you can use it to seal the ends of your zippers, as well as seal the ends of webbing. I love using it for the webbing. It's so nice. I will say with the zipper tape, you want to be careful. It can get a little extreme. There we go. Okay. Ta-da! And now we have, I really should stop doing that. Okay, so now we have an idea of the shape of the bag. So I have that piece of Decaville there because I don't like a saggy bottom back lunch bag. It bothers me. For the lunch bag, I really do recommend like a food safe pull or a waterproof canvas because things sweat. And then the boning in it is going to kind of help it stay up. Yep, there we go. Bear with me for a moment. I heard you ding. There you are. Okay. Yeah, I know a bit. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. That seems like a bad idea. There we go. All righty. Whee! I'm extremely happy with it. Extreme. This is a thinner like webbing, so it's going to be a little floppy, but it's a nice easy grab. And you can put your whole hand through it if you're just wanting to like carry that and something else. I love how supportive my husband is because when he's talking to people at the booth, he'll just mention, that I always look to make it about form and functionality, and fashion. And I was like, there's no reason. And I will tell people there is no reason why a bag can't look good and be useful. Let's see. There you are. You do want to be careful when you're trimming those edges. I'm okay with this. I know it'll be fine because it's going to get like sealed a couple of times, but I'll show each of you one at a time. So you can see that there's like that fold right there, but here not so much. Now that is because I got really, really close. Okay. See how that's, oh, here we go. It's kind of a tiny hook, whereas this, there we go. This is a fold over. That's because I got a little close to when I clipped it down. It's okay if you feel that that's, you know, not doing enough for you, you can go back over it. But I will tell you right now, that's probably not the greatest idea. And that is mainly because of the fact that, did I get this one? Okay. I got this side. Yes. You're now you're weakening it. The more you sew over vinyl, the more chance you have to weaken it. So if you just leave it be, give it a little bit of trust, I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. I know that's going to be fine because I've done I've done bound bags. I mean, I am trying to figure out how to be a binding queen without being a bound queen. If you know, you know. And you're going to sew over this 2 more times as it is. Because you're going to sew it to the front, and then you're going to put binding over it. So it's going to be secured. That's why when I do the slip pocket, you didn't see me go over it a couple of times, because that would just weaken it. That's just going to make it end up tearing. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep it nice. All right. Damn it, I ate my cheese stick. Okay. I got to drink probably more anyways. I got some tea. Okay. So now the fun part. What time? 5 to 12. Oh, yeah, we got time for this. All right. I'm going to start with the flat, what I call the flat side, so the front, because it's going to be easier to sew it where I can put my hands in there. No, okay. I hope Mom's okay. Mom's like, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm watching TV, Mom. But it's a little bit easier with the thinner side of the zipper to be able to put your whole hand in there and kind of futz around with it. I have found. I even have a little note on here. It says itty bitty, do flat side first. So because of that, I just kind of took that. I take that and I do that with every other bag. And it's because your flat side can crumple if you need it to crumple. Especially when you're putting on your binding. I guess I should get some flips out, huh? And one more handful. There we go. All right, so I start at one end and just kind of put a couple clips in. And I'm going to really do like that. That looks so cute. By the way, if you're ever like, you just need to like stop and look at what you're doing, stop and look what you're doing. You know, you have every right to stop and admire your work. And even more so if you've been having a rough kind of time. Oh, thank you. I love having y'all around. It's so much fun. Y'all are so much nicer than the voices in my head. Half joking. Oh, why are you way over there? I have specific scissors I like to use to clip with because they actually clip. So Someone asked me recently about this. How do I know where to clip? So mainly any type of like tighter curve. It will help up here, but only if you really need the space. So what I do, let's see if I can show y'all. So I look at how this is curving and I go over and I try not to stab myself in the face. Good Lord. There we go. I'm going to start about where it's going to start curving, and that's where I start clipping. In this case, I go up to where the bottom gusset is just about to end. That should go around that curve nicely. And I just do it over here too. So find where it feels like the curve is going to start. Oof. This just had to be the perfect vinyl for this, didn't it? And if at the top, you just want that chance of leeway. Honestly, clipping the curves isn't a bad idea, even if you don't really need the space. And that's because when you turn, it's going to allow everything to kind of shift nicely. Aaron laughs sometimes because I do something he calls my kitty dance, because I'll do this. He's like, you look like a little kitty dance. I was like, oh yeah. Oh. Remember where you start on this side so that you can start the same on the other side. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and kind of get an idea for how the curves are working. This is only the second time I've done this bag. And I will say the other one, I definitely didn't need to add to the gusset. I will definitely say I did not need to add to that gusset. I made it work, but it was kind of a little squishy. You want kind of this fun mix of easing it in and not having to. Okay, so it's doing the perfect bowl shape right now. Now, if it's too tight, what's going to happen is when you turn it to sew this side up, it's going to push it out weird, and you might end up with it not meeting. Now, most folks just go ahead and trim it. That bothers me. Not that folks do that. It just bothers me to do that. I'd really just rather everything meet up nicely. So when it's too tight of a gusset, this is the first bound bag from the So Sweetness that I've done. But again, I will say this is technically not a tutorial. I don't want them to get mad at me. I know they don't have, I don't believe they give permission. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else that doesn't like give permission for actual videos. Tutorial videos? Maybe that's the word I want. Okay, just making sure I'm okay over there. If you get a chance to subscribe on the TV app, that would be amazing. I just hit 250 subscribers. So I'm like, yay, I'm getting there. Here we go. Okay. Huh. This is still a little loose. But we'll see how it sews. Okay, because see, technically, I don't know if that's going to ease in. I'm going to make it ease in. It's not going to have many options, but I don't want a wrinkle or anything like that. That eased in pretty well. Okay. Always worried about things like that. Watching Bags by Mona made me want to watch Rock of Ages because it was like 3 songs in a row from that movie. And I'm like, just watched it last week. I don't need to watch it again. Maybe. Ah, damn. Thought I had to sneeze. And most of the time when I think I have to sneeze, if I need to force it out, just kind of like blasting my eyes with light, usually sunlight, works to force it out. I don't know why, but oh my God. Okay, so this is what I mean by taking a moment to admire. Look at how cute this is going to be. This is going to be the most adorable lunch bag. And I do like the one zipper pull. It's a lunch bag. It doesn't need multiple zipper pulls. Would it make it 20% cooler? Maybe. But it would also put an extra cost on it. Okay, here we go. Oh, Lord. I love a big zipper opening. I have to just make one of these as a bag. Okay, so I'm going to start. I'm going to see if I can move the tube. There we go. All right, so hopefully that's not in the way. I'm also going to take a drink and move my cup. I want Aaron to print me a cup holder, but my cups are heavy because I don't like having to go get another drink if I can, help it. So I don't know how well that would work. All right, I'm going to move that right there. Okay, I'm going to move that just a smidge more. That good? I think that's good. All righty. So I'm going to use my screwdriver to kind of just hold everything down. I'm going to do a tacking. Tacking. There we go. Seam allowance. So it's not the full seam allowance. I'll do the true seam allowance when I put the binding tape on. My name is. Trying to get everybody out of the way over there. Okay. This is why, tube, you will be able to see this better. But yeah, I think I can actually take about another 1/2 inch off easy. Okay. I thought maybe it was the seam allowance, but I know the seam allowance is 1/4 inch. Just trying to make sure that it doesn't. This is why I baste or do this tacking. This is just a 1/8 inch that I'm going around in. Okay, I do need to take another 1/2 inch off of the gusset. Okay. Because see right here, the gusset, if I just kind of like shove it into, like ease it in incorrectly, it's going to bunch up. There we go. So when you get to a point where things aren't like trying to scooch around, A really good idea is instead you don't want to like pull the gusset, you want to push down into the spot. And it's really easy to tug instead of pushing. So if you do tug, tug straight back or push down. Don't tug towards yourself. That's definitely one of the reasons why I use the screwdriver. I've tried stilettos. I bend them because I'm really like pushing hard. So I really like the screwdrivers from Mormy now. You see. Because at one point what I'm doing is I'm grabbing and then kind of curling and pushing because I want to make sure that everything still matches up. I don't want stuff to shift. If you are worried about that, try to make more points of contact like we do with the zipper tape. Or you can start in the middle and go from mid to top mid and then go back down and go from bottom mid to top mid the other way. And then that'll have it tacked down. That way you can just go around with your binding. You don't have to worry about doing it that way. Okay, so now what I need to do. So on this side, on the other side of the gusset, I pushed up. So I was tugging towards me a little bit to make sure that it didn't like crumple. Now I have to do that again here. So I have to go ahead and start pushing up away from me this time because I got to do the opposite of what I did over there. And that will help me ease everything to match the other side. It also means that you're not, again, skewing everything. Bound bags are amazing, but they can, there are tips and tricks for just about every type of bag that will help you succeed better. Oh, I was like, didn't I just play that song? Different song. I thought it was the Matchbox 20 song again. It is not. It is Pearl Jam, and it is a very different song. I did find that tacking down everything before I did the true seam allowance just upped my game. It leveled me up for sure. There we go. I might try to move. What I really need to do is find a overhead for my webcam too, so that it can be over here and looking down this way. I think that would help a lot. As I'm trying to give y'all multiple views so that if you go back and watch the one on the gram, that view helps you, and then you can go watch on the TV app and see that. So I'm just going to kind of get over here so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, so I have that tacked in. Because it's such a large one, if you're unsure how it went, and remember, this is, if you're doing it this way, this is your tacking, which means it will get better. But I'm already pretty happy with that tacking job. That already looks good. Oh, with the Speedwells from Blue Collar. I used to always, when I got to this section and I bound it, I would always, or before I bound it, I would always like fold it out so I could make sure everything caught. Like I was so paranoid that something wasn't going to get caught. Just making sure that I don't have any weird catches there. Okay. And we're going to sit that up. I'm going to sit that right there for a second while I decide on. Ow! That's just my toe. I'm okay. Oh, huh. Let's see. And I have an idea, so I'm going to put that right there so I don't forget. I think yellow will be fine. I think it'll match nicely. So come here, Gil. Come here. Thank you. That is the name. Let me do this one. Okay. Okay, before we do that, I want to tuck a tag into the bag because this will be a good way to show you how you can do a tag when there's no pockets inside. Sewn with Chaos. So we have the Apothecary Diaries. So I try to think of things. We had this conversation when I made the other bag. I'm trying to decide what was in that one. So there's the start, like they're stitched with all my love, made with magic, happy to see you, rugged and handmade. Let's see, make the whole place shimmer. The problem is I haven't seen this one, so I'm not like 100% sure what even it's about. I mean, it's in an era of Japan, obviously, and I'm guessing there's like potions and poisons and stuff. So that's all I got. How about made with sprinkles? You think that one would be good? Let me go see what I put in the other one real quick. I say real quick, but y'all know it takes a hot second. I see you, little man. Okay. Yeah, when I make bags, sometimes I like to kind of match things up so that if somebody's like, oh, the matching lunchbox would be amazing with this. Well, ta-da! There you are. Happy to see you. That's the one we put in here. So guess what? That's the one we're going to put into this one. Okay. Just in case you forgot, this was the other one that we did, which sits really nicely on the hip. I really like it. Stay. Oh, my Lord, my nose is itching. Okay. Happy you exist. No, that's not what it was. Happy to see you. Another one's here somewhere. There it is. I need to get on to getting some designs done for the brand me's, and I have to start reaching out to some folks. Make sure that we get that taken care of. Oop, sorry. There we go. Okay. So that's my woven label binder. But this one's going to go in the back area. So I'm going to put it. That seems like a bad idea. I'm going to put it right there.